Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Series of Board Gaming's coverage on the semi-finals. This time is Dune Imperium Uprising. It is the first time that Dune Imperium Uprising has been in the competition, but of course, it had to rear its head in our grand final day, as it usually does. I'm Chris George, Director of Production at WSBG, and I'm joined by the designer of Dune Imperium and Dune Imperium Uprising himself, Paul Denon. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks once again for inviting me. This is always really fun.
Yeah, it's great. We've now done this for quite a few years together, but this will be our first time doing Dune Imperium Uprising.
Yep. Yeah, this year I guess it swapped in
Hmm.
and Dune Imperium came out. So hopefully we see some worm riding this year.
Yeah, I think we will. I think it is almost inevitable. We'll see some players battle it out, grabbing those intense worms. I'm excited to turn this over. Now, this is the semifinals. For those of you at home who don't know, these were drawn randomly. All of these winners won a different game, and they are forced to test their skills at Dune Imperium Uprising to see how well they do. So I'm interested to see how that affects their play. But I know as I was scrolling through the footage, they said amongst each other, we'll probably hear it as we watch, but they felt that it was a pretty even matchup. So I'm excited to see how everybody takes it on.
Great.
So should we turn to the table and get started, Paul?
Let's do it.
Perfect. Before we do, if you are interested in grabbing your tickets to the World Series of Board Gaming, tickets are on sale for 2026, and it is your best deal to get them right now. You can use the code EARLYBIRD to save a bunch of money off of your ticket. That is, I think, only going until November. And plus, if you get your ticket before November 1st, you're going to get a free year subscription to Board Game Arena as well. They've partnered with us to offer that out. So a huge incentive to get your ticket and to join in the fun. And who knows, you might be one of these players next year that we are about to meet. So let's turn it over to the table and meet the players. In seat one, we have Cliff Flaxenhair. Now, Cliff won the Brass Birmingham Championship this year at 2025, but he also came second place overall in 2022, winning Gaia Project, then Ticket to Ride in the semifinals, and then placing second at, wouldn't you know it, Dune Imperium. So maybe this is a chance for redemption for Cliff Flaxenhair. We'll have to see how he takes on this new edition. In seat two, we have John McClane, a new face to the winner's circuit. John McClane won his first ring at Cascadia this year. He's the Cascadia champion. And the first time we haven't seen Hawk C in the finals of Cascadia, John McClane was able to eke out the most points and take it home, hailing from Lawrenceville. John McClane giving us his best pose there, rocking and rolling, sitting in seat two. In seat three, we have RJ Creighton. RJ is our Azul champion of 2025, but also made it to the final table of Lost Ruins of Arnak this year as well, holding the one ring in his hand, hoping he can add a bracelet to that one ring. He first needs to get past the semifinals of Dune Imperium Uprising to make it to that final table. And then finally, in seat four, we have last year's Azul champion. We have Alan Zhao, this year's Raw champion in 2025. And Alan is also came in second place last year at, wouldn't you know it, Dune Imperium. The final was again Dune Imperium, and Alan Zhao was able to take home the second place in that one. We have two second place finishers of Dune Imperium facing off at this table. Two Azul champions and one Cascadia champion, seeing who can make their way to this year's 2025 finals. And so we've cut in right now, we've cut through all the drafting. How we do it at WSBG is fourth player will get to pick their character first, and then it'll be sort of a reverse draft. And so I've cut all of that thinking time out. We're going to cut right into the action as we reveal the first conflict card that's coming up here. First conflict card, which as Cliff is just shuffling them up, and then we'll add them to the screen. But I want to go through what everybody picked. Alan Zhao's board is going to remain sort of off camera, just in terms of how the camera setup was happening. We see there's a lot of shifting on the board. It's a sideways board one way, it's a sideways card market the other way, but we're going to give you all the action so you don't have to worry. But Alan has picked the Fade Rautha Harkonnen as his champion. Then RJ has picked Gurney Halleck. John McClane picked Muad'Dib, and Cliff was left, as you can see in the top left corner there, with Lady Margot. Cliff is going to be starting this up, and they are drawing their opening hands now. Paul, what do you feel about these choices? They're all a single level complexity.
Was that because of randomness, or did they have the whole gamut to choose from?
They had the whole gamut to choose from, but they all just decided on these particular cards and particular leaders.
They're all strong leaders. I guess the one thing I'm surprised at is that Alan, with first pick, went for Fade. He must play Fade better than I can play Fade. I think Fade is good. Just don't get me wrong. All four of these leaders can certainly win this game easily. But I find Lady Margot to be a little more, easier to play. And I sometimes have a bad game with Fade. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I also was surprised to see Lady Margot be drafted last, because Cliff got last pick and was still around. I find her to be really powerful, especially with all the spy combos. You're just always getting spies on the board.
Yeah, and Gurney is always a safe pick too. He's just so overall, well-rounded.
Yeah. And it is worth noting, too, that all these players aren't necessarily as familiar with the games. That also could be why they opted to say, you know what? No, I'm not going for anything that's overly complex. I want to have something that I can depend on. I want to have something consistent. And so that also might have factored into their choices.
That makes sense. Lady Jessica is really hard to play, so I'm not surprised nobody picked her. Princess Irulan can be a little complex to play, and Steban Tuek is a great leader who, if somebody was a veteran, I bet Steban would have been picked.
Right. We see with the opening plays, Cliff has played diplomacy instantly, has gone to the Fremen, has boosted up on the Fremen track, and we see John also boosting up on the Fremen track. I feel like some of the advice that these players might have received before the game is worms are very powerful. What do you think, Paul?
Well, absolutely. And with Muad'Dib in the game, you sometimes want to go to Fremen just to slow Muad'Dib down. Because Muad'Dib's power is, of course, whenever he takes a reveal turn, if he has a worm in play, he just gets a free intrigue card.
Right.
So what color is Muad'Dib?
Muad'Dib is yellow. I believe the garrisons are correct in this orientation. So we'll see Cliff is in blue, John is in the top right corner, and so is yellow. RJ is green in bottom right, and Alan is red in bottom left.
So it looks like Muad'Dib just went to Fremen and trashed a card.
Yeah.
But he only put one troop in, so he's not trying to win.
What I really like about the changes from Dune Imperium to Dune Imperium Uprising, and the interesting changes, is that in these initial conflicts, second place gets you more stuff because the card is itself, worth half a point. But how does that play into the opening game? Do you think it's worth always still winning a battle? Or we've seen in past championships and past games that players have just picked away and just gotten second place and third place and had those sort of cumulative gains. Do you think that's going to play an effect on this one?
Yeah, if anything, participating in combat is even more important in Uprising, because the rewards tend to be a little better, especially in those second and third place rewards. In base Dune Imperium, getting second or third place can sometimes... It depends how many troops you committed, right? If you committed one troop, you're fine. But if you committed 4 troops and got second or third, it can be rough. Here, yes, you're right that second place can look stronger than first place, but this early in the game, getting a battle icon added to your list of battle icons is probably going to convert into a point later. So,
Right.
You're getting one Solari less than second place if you take first place, but you're also getting kind of half a point.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly right, too, that it doesn't matter what your starting objective was. You're probably going to be able to pair it up. You have the whole game to work towards pairing and getting another dagger in this instance.
Of course, sometimes it doesn't work out, but if you play the odds, odds are you'll have an opportunity.
I said dagger, but I believe it's what would you call that symbol? A dragonfly? A chopper?
The blue it is symbol? An ornithopter.
An ornithopter. There you go.
Yes. There is a sort of a dagger symbol. I think we call it a crysknife symbol on some of the other cards.
On the green.
And then there's the third symbol is a desert mouse. So green, I guess RJ is going to win this, and it makes sense that he would push 3 troops here because he's playing Gurney, and Gurney has a passive ability of getting +1 persuasion if he has at least 6 strength in the conflict. So he's got his 6 in there.
Yeah, he's always incentivized to push that in, potentially revealing that he doesn't have any daggers in his hand, or just making sure that he's safe to win the fight with 1 troop. He doesn't have 2 daggers in his hand for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some power cards on the row. Desert Power costs 6, so he might be trying to get to that.
Yeah.
So they're starting on their second turns here. Signet Ring for Lady Margot, which is a really, really strong start to start with your Signet. Lady Margot, her Signet just is very flexible for later in the game. Like she'll probably flop a spy onto either between Arakeen and the Spice Refinery, or maybe what color Margot's blue. She might put it on Siege Tabor because she's already got a rank with the Fremen to make sure she can get hooks later.
Yeah. I just find that inside the shield wall is so beneficial, especially in that early on.
Mm-hmm.
Where Gurney went was such a popular space, I feel.
It makes sense. It is, the city center, the big city on Arrakis, Arakeen.
Yeah. And Cliff does exactly that.
We replaced in base Dune Imperium, there's a Carthag space, which is also a city that's on Arrakis. It's more talked about in the books as the center of the Harkonnen power when they control Arrakis. But in the films, they kind of cut out Carthag and just focused on Arakeen.
And so that was part of it, just to be more in line with the films, or
no, it just lined up that way. It felt like we could replace Carthag with a different space for Dune Imperium Uprising,
right?
And so we did, and part, a lot of what went into the design of Dune Imperium Uprising was to kind of flip the table and change up the board spaces so that players could have that same kind of fun of like learning, because that's a big part of like, having fun is like training your brain and like finding the new play patterns that are successful.
Yeah. We also,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Spice Refinery definitely changes things up in terms of like there's no big chome space that can get you a lot of money in this version of Dune Uprising. So you will sometimes see a fight for the Spice Refinery early to convert spice into 4 Solari, for example.
Oh yeah, it's clutch, especially if you're going for that pursuit of the High Council or the Swordmaster. Gets you almost all the way there for High Council. We see Alan do exactly that.
And he took the spice. Yeah, so he's basically prioritized money here.
Yeah.
And is he gonna push more troops? I mean, he has the last push, and it looks like everybody except Gurney has 3 in, and everybody else has 1 troop.
Yeah.
So I would expect Alan to either push another troop Oh, so he just used Fade's
Used
spy
his
signet ring to place a spy. Nice. That's a good place for it. Is he going to push? If he has 2 daggers, he doesn't need to push, I suppose.
He decides not to push. Yeah, that is surprising because it just takes that one extra cube to lock in that Solari, and especially if he's gotten 4 Solari, he wants to win that Solari second place.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference between second and third here is bigger than the difference between first and second in a sense.
That feels very significant. I mean, it's possible he's afraid of some intrigue cards. Like I know RJ has picked up an intrigue card and Cliff has picked up an intrigue card, but I also wouldn't expect anyone to spend a combat intrigue card on this battle.
Nor would I. I mean, I suppose if you were going to get nothing and an intrigue card allowed you to jump into second place, you probably would, because you'd go from nothing to getting an intrigue card back and 2 Solari.
And you'll see at home, sometimes there will be cuts on the screen. That's because I've cut out some thinking time to keep the game as snappy as possible, while also still leaving us room to talk about their plays.
Nice.
But I think that cut there was Cliff was noticing on Alan's board that he was using a troop for marking Fade's track, and he said, no, there should be a special piece for that, just in case you ever get to the spot where you need to use all of your troops and put them all on the board. So just players looking out for each other, making sure that the game is played correctly from the get. All these players have definitely stayed up late last night and gotten very little sleep as they prepare for this. We draw the games at around 12 midnight or 1 a.m., and this happens at 9 a.m., and they have that time to either train or either sleep.
Total respect for that. Looks like Cliff is buying Spy Network and placed a spy onto the Fremen area.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's a great card for Margot because he'll often be able to activate the reveal text.
Yeah, which is if you have 2 or more spies on the board, you just get an intrigue card if you remove one of your spies. Yeah, a really nice grab there from Cliff. I didn't quite see how much buying power he had, and so maybe a few other things were out of his reach, but it just feels like Cliff has a very clear plan. He wants to get those worms. We talked about, will we see worms? Well, I think we're going to. Cliff is hurtling towards getting the ability to get his worms, and I would not be surprised if he's the first player to get his hook.
Well, Muad'Dib has a chance to be first because he'll play first next round.
True.
And it looks like Muad'Dib is deciding what to buy.
Yeah.
Just took a prepare the way, huh?
Just to prepare the way.
Do you think he had 2 or 3? Because he could have bought the Guild Envoy if he had 3.
I think he had 3. That's why he was debating. That's why there was that pause there. If he just has 2, then sort of prepare the way should be an auto choice.
Yeah, Guild Envoy can be a drawback because you have to discard a card when you play it, but it can also be incredible if you can combine it with other Space and Guild cards.
Yeah. I absolutely love the Space and Guild in this game. I love what has been done to the Space and Guild. I think it's so much fun. I love how many synergies there are with the Space and Guild. I know that people focus on the worms but the Space and Guild and how they interact with spies and how they can just manipulate the tracks. I think it's so much fun. It's probably one of my favorite builds to play if I can get to it.
Nice. Yeah, and arguably maybe the most powerful card in the game is a Space and Guild card. It's called Guild Spy.
Oh, Alan, you're not gold.
I think we saw Gurney grab maybe Desert Power there.
Definitely Desert Power.
Desert
yeah.
Power is no longer on the map. We knew he was potentially building up to that with pushing those 6 troops in, and then getting a 6-cost card is pretty good to have in your deck.
I think the players are.
For intrigue.
I missed Alan's buy. What did Alan buy?
Yeah, I don't think the market changed up since Alan has.
He did reveal 2 daggers, so maybe he didn't have enough to buy anything.
Yeah.
But there's a tie for second, which means they're each going to get third instead of second.
Yeah. Already that choice for Alan not to
push a second troop.
In is just feels like it could be catastrophic right from the get. You know, having that 2 Solari would just I feel like that would benefit Alan so much. You can grab High Council immediately and just have that extra buying power and flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it was a mistake, because having 2 daggers, he knew one of the opponents didn't have a dagger. He knew Muad'Dib didn't have a dagger, so he was just gambling that Cliff wouldn't have any, and Cliff had 2.
Yeah.
So he played the odds and lost, unfortunately. So that's a big win for Gurney.
Yeah.
And Muad'Dib didn't get much there, but he has the benefit of having the most troops in play, and he's going first next round. So we'll see if he can play to. I would expect a play to Fremkit, because he spent his water.
Yeah.
So the only way he can get to Fremen 2 is to play to Fremkit.
Yeah, and I believe RJ also grabbed a point there, so matching his objective symbol, he had the Ornithopter as his objective. So the other players will be looking for those desert mice or the chrysalis knife. Chris knife. We're on to round 2, which is the Desert Mouse in the top. It's Trade Dispute. So players, you'll see also that there is an objective there on the card. We're not playing with the Chome module for Uprising, and we're just basically taking that as 2 Solari. Anytime that symbol were to appear, it would be 2 Solari. So it's 2 Solari, a water, and trashing a card for first place, a water, 1 spice, and trashing a card for second, and then a water and a troop for third.
So John, unfortunately, I guess I should have seen this last round, because John played both his Seek Allies and Diplomacy. It looks like he went to deliver supplies, so he did have the water. He just didn't have the possibility of redrawing his Diplomacy.
Right.
So he did play his ring, so he's going to shuffle back in, and he might draw. He's going to draw 2 because he went to Arakeen. He might draw his Diplomacy. So I would expect Cliff to block him, because Cliff did not play both Diplomacy and Seek Allies last round.
John pushes 3 troops in as well, pretty much just saying, listen, this battle I've already won. Which is also tough too. It's possible he's not planning on going to a second space, but pushing 3 troops in as the first player, I feel gives all the other players a pretty significant advantage to how they want to measure out their troops.
That's fair, yeah. And there is a distinct difference between Uprising and base game in this way, because there's no hardy warriors that somebody can go to suddenly push 4 troops from the Fremen space. The Fremen space that costs water is still good, but it only gives you 1 troop and a trash instead. So going in strong with 3 troops can definitely scare other people, unless they have 2 water for the new research station, which is arguably the most powerful early game space if you really want to bully the other players. I think RJ...
Which Alan now should have, because Alan went to the the Spacing Guild, and hasn't spent his water from his opening hand.
RJ blocked Fremkit from Cliff. So if Cliff wants Fremen, he's going to have to go to... he's going to have to spend his water. So you were Prescient, I believe. I think Cliff is going to be going for worms soon.
It just feels like such a great combo with Lady Margot's abilities.
Dagger in my hand.
Looks like he trashed a dagger from hand. He chose not to recall his spy, which makes sense because he has the spy network in his deck and he wants to have 2 spies on the board.
Yeah. It's also a bit surprising to me that Cliff didn't push at least 1 troop in, but again, perhaps just waiting to see what Alan does.
If he knows his second move, there he goes.
Yeah.
There he goes. But also, if he knows his next move is to siege Tabor, he's probably just playing it a little safer. But
Yeah.
now he's got the full potential. He could push 3 more troops if he goes to siege Tabor.
And have a big battle right from the get. I think also the 2 troops, we didn't talk about this, that RJ pushed in feels also predictable if he's sitting on those 2 daggers, because I'm not sure if he had any daggers in his reveal last time, but that would hit him at 6 again, giving him that additional buying power and letting him just really develop his deck in a way that having a 6-cost card in there.
Yeah. Yep. He could easily get a 5-coster here.
Mm-hmm.
Although he might want to, if he does have... Well, yeah, you're right. Two daggers, he doesn't have the option to go up to the Landsrad then. He'll lose the persuasion.
What I'm going to do are the RJ that I got from every single one of those people last night, who were awesome. They were so amazing. But they were like, really? You should probably be looking through everybody's discard every round. And I was like, you're right. I probably should do that. I don't think I can.
Yeah, I'm with Cliff in terms of if you stayed up all night, learning the game. Do you really have enough energy to go through everybody's discard piles and keep an eye? It's almost better to just focus on your game and make sure you don't make mistakes instead of trying to predict everybody else's optimal plays.
Yeah, and especially with this game too. You're not guaranteed that your opponents are going to do optimal plays. This isn't the ring final of Dune Imperium Uprising.
I don't think I noticed.
This is everyone sort of on the same footing. So there likely will be some less than optimal plays, and if you're basing your entire strategy on somebody doing something and then they don't do it, that can also be a detriment to you.
Yeah, like I said, I think we got the fairest draw probably. But
Interesting that nobody has yet gone to the Emperor to just pick up 2 Solari.
First time for me.
If Alan had won 2nd place last time, he could have easily just gone there and gotten his Swordmaster this round.
Does that distract you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Alan we know is sitting on 4 Solari and 2 water. It just...
very impressive.
I know I keep harping on that first battle, but it really felt like Alan should have pushed that extra one in. But it is also possible, because Alan did have 2 daggers and he played a Signet Ring. There may not be... Is there another green symbol in your starting deck? He might have had all 3 green symbols.
You're right, yeah.
And so he knew that even if he did have the 6, he can't do it this turn, so opted for not worrying about it and keeping his troops for another battle.
Fair.
All right, man, I feel you. I lost on Dune a second too.
I mean, if he can go to the research station this round, do you think he should? And try to come over the top and beat up on everybody and try to buy a good card?
Yeah, it still feels a bit too soon. I love using Research Station for my Spice Must Flow targets, right? That additional card draw is so helpful when you're at 6 or 7, and then you have the potential to get a point out of it. Although I do really believe in making sure to get some of those powerful cards in your deck early on.
The thing is, the cost of the Research Station this round is kind of 1 water, because you're gonna win a water back.
Right.
Cascadia was a killer field this year, so you won that. That's very impressive as well against this guy too, huh?
That's true. I mean, John does push in his 4th troop. He goes to the 2nd makerspace, grabs some additional spice, we can kind of see John's resources a little bit to our left of his white playmat. And I know that I'll shift our card row a little later so that we can see more of his resources.
Yeah, I wonder what he's up to. I mean, just grabbing a bunch of spice and locking this combat down does seem fine.
Yeah. And I think he knows, too, that Gurney's likely to have the 2 daggers. I think he's probably kept track of that pretty easily. And so wants to make sure that there's no funny business. He wants to earn that top spot. He clearly has a Desert Mouse. He's angling for his point to get his point out of the way. It should be said that players are keeping their objective cards face down. I think they're just doing this as some sort of variant. The objective cards are normally face up. And Paul and I were talking before the Caspian. I don't really think it makes it seems to make a difference because it's all going to get resolved pretty early on anyway.
Hopefully it gets resolved early on, yeah.
Yeah.
Normally you wouldn't have an Ornithopter card in 4-player. You'd give 2 Desert Mice and 2 Chris Knives to the players. So I guess somebody had an Ornithopter last round. RJ had one.
Yeah, because I believe he got a point out of it.
I don't think so. But I'd hate to tell you that, and then, hey, you don't have to. Yeah, played cards are in a different pile for whatever reason. Discard.
Cliff here is really hoping that Alan does not enter this battle, because if Alan doesn't enter the battle, then Cliff doesn't have to worry about it. He's just guaranteed to earn a water and his troop back from 3rd place.
Yeah, and again, Alan not really interested in participating in these conflicts.
I think he has showed this kind of strategy before the last time we watched him. I could be wrong, but I remember watching him and I thought he had like an economic strategy.
Right. Yeah, Alan has one Azul and Alan has one Raw. Those are his 2 rings. So I wonder if that would make him... I feel like with Azul he wouldn't be worried about people pushing things in. But I guess it's more because Azul's can be a hard, aggressive game. But I think it is more like following that economic strategy.
Yeah. I can't blame him for not entering this combat when 2 players in front of him went heavy.
For sure. Like, why are you going to push in just to fight for that extra water? It really doesn't. When he has 2 water anyway, it's a very low priority for Alan.
But I think this just plays to Cliff's game here, because Cliff is first to Maker Hooks, so he'll be first to have the chance to summon a Sandworm. And he's going to have 3 troops heading into next round. 4 troops, really. So I think he's in a great position, other than maybe deck building.
Yeah, Cliff just having that spy network in his deck currently. We see John again taking a long look at the Imperium row, deciding which he's going to put into his bank. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like he's dealing with 6, at least. Grabbing that leadership, flirting with leadership.
Leadership would be a good choice. I think you could even go Guild Envoy, Reliable Informant, and hope to combo them together. But nothing wrong with leadership.
Okay, so doesn't count for itself.
They just factored it in by printing it on the card.
Oh, he's not taking it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's just
wanted
taking
to
a
read
look
it.
at it, yeah.
Okay. I'm actually gonna go for this one.
Oh, he takes Captured Mentat, which is a good versatile card.
Yeah, it gives that flexibility. I do love cards that can manipulate the track, having the flexibility to go up, get a bonus, go back down, go up on another track to get your point, then go back up and get the bonus again. Always
Wow,
thrilling.
look at that flop, by the way. Strike Fleet just flopped. If that goes to Cliff, then Cliff is in danger of running away with this game. So I think the rest of the table better hope that because Lady Margot can always basically have a spy that
Yeah.
can be removed for Strike Fleet.
Over to RJ's decision right now. Yeah, a pretty huge flop. Cliff already really dominating that spy game. Like Brad Pitt and Robert Redford win that movie Spy Game. John flirting to maybe grab the Guild Envoy, but realizing he doesn't have enough cost, and then opting not to get the Reliable Informant. I think that's what that was.
Oh, so he had 7 to buy. Wow.
I think he might have had 7, yeah. I think it was a 2, 2, 2, and a 1. That's interesting. Would you have passed up the Reliable Informant?
No way.
I mean, it's a very solid card. He's already invested in the Spacing Guild. It helps him invest more, and then just gets those spies out on the table.
Yeah, and you kind of, one general rule to play Dune Imperium or Dune Imperium Uprising is you buy some of the politics icons, and that, it only has 1 icon, but it is a Spacing Guild icon, so...
Yeah.
And he bought Captured Mentat, which doesn't have an icon, so he might run into political problems this game.
Yeah. That's, again, another benefit of that Guild Envoy, probably why he was looking at it, wanting that flexibility. But yeah, Reliable Informant, they call it reliable for a reason. We're over to RJ. RJ does have 5, I think I heard him say.
Oh, wow. I can't imagine him not getting Strike Fleet, but...
Yeah, it feels like that should be a lock for the war-driven Gurney.
He might be concerned that he won't be able to power it up, but it has a strong reveal also. It reveals for 1 Persuasion and 3 swords.
Yeah.
We'll play a Brass, a Cascadia, and a Zool and a Ra. And we'll take the aggregate winner.
Cliff making deals on, let's forget this game. Let's play all of our games.
And we'll get it all done before 12:45.
Can we get some sleep first, please?
I like the idea of they pull the semis and we just play it at midnight. If I'm going to be up all night anyway. And then we'll be asleep until 2 the next day.
Alright. So I get a spy now?
He does take the Strike Fleet.
He grabs Strike Fleet, which I think is a great read from RJ. Also works well for Gurney. He's now sitting with Desert Power and Strike Fleet in his deck. I'd be scared of Gurney.
Where would you put the spy from Strike Fleet?
That's a good question. If I'm Gurney, well, I guess he's going for make sure he can hit that that hook as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he's. Which I don't mind it there. I think it's solid, especially when John is pushing up on that track as well, and clearly has designs. I mean, RJ will get to go ahead of John next turn, so if he really wants to get his maker hook, he can.
+1 for Emperor included.
Alan takes Sardaukar Coordination. He revealed 4.
Yeah.
It goes everything is discarded.
Can I see it?
And that's his first buy, we believe?
I believe that's his first buy, yeah.
Whoa, another banger card on the row.
Wow.
Long live the
At
fighters.
the bottom, it's 2 buying power plus a sword for each Emperor card
Very nice.
played this turn, I believe.
Very nice. To shuffle my deck.
Yeah, players taking a good look at that.
Yeah, technically, again, that will happen later. It won't matter for you here, but like if you trashed a card in the conflict, you would
Yeah, I going back to your question, I do like that placement of the spy for RJ, but I feel like oftentimes the spies on the politics track feel more necessary, especially as the game goes on and your options become more limited as you specialize.
Yeah.
I tend to prioritize those spies over ones on the main board because I feel like the flow could happen. Sometimes I do like a spy on letting me get the High Council. Again, if you're really focused on those pivotal milestones in the game, let's call them.
Yeah. That all makes sense. I think there was just tension there because Strike Fleet wants to be on a combat space.
Mm,
So the only politics space that you can trigger a Strike Fleet and
Right.
add those troops is the Fremen, and Cliff already has that spot.
right.
The Swordmaster spy is also very popular. I mean, you mentioned the High Council, but it also covers the
Yeah,
Swordmaster.
yeah. Well, yeah, the dual usage of that, right?
Yeah.
Cut this card out.
Can you read the card you just played?
So Cliff took leadership.
This card in the Dune Imperium
I think he's
row.
playing as an intrigue card to
Oh.
allow him to set it aside.
I may acquire the remove card for one less.
Oh, he's probably going to acquire it.
Likely buying it, yeah. Space and Guild's Favor came up. Oh, the fact that Guild Envoy and Space and Guild's Favor are up there. A beautiful combo.
Oh, yeah.
And the Reliable Informant. Oh, how is nobody going into the Space and Guild in this game? It's so tasty right now.
I think we'll see it soon. Unless somebody
Yeah.
hits 7, they're going to be forced to buy some Space and Guild cards.
Yeah, for sure. Alan, I guess, being the more likely target with Gurney having Desert Power and Strike Fleet in his hand, kind of going in a different direction. Well, Space and Guild isn't juxtaposed against those. Yeah, I feel a nice get from RJ and from Cliff in this battle. It feels, with, if you just look at it, John definitely overcommitting at least that one troop, was worried about Gurney pushing in. That's the danger of pushing in so hard at the beginning. You've committed and now you have to win it, or else it just feels so bad.
Cool.
But everybody else is able to pick up some bonuses
Waters.
because of you, essentially, for a lot less that they may have.
Looks like no combat cards, so they're just collecting rewards and getting their trashes now. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
think so.
I saw RJ moving something around.
Yeah, I think RJ was just deciding which card to trash,
Okay.
and has taken a little bit of time, hence that cut that we saw. But didn't quite hear what he said, but he was mulling over his thoughts. It looks like he's trashing a dagger.
I get a water and a troop, and then troops die, so I'm just gonna take the troop. Right, there's my fourth one. And there's my water.
Yeah, Cliff grabbing that water feels really good for one troop.
Yeah. He's in good position right now.
Yeah, net no loss really, because he gets the troop back and the water. So it's just a free water for Cliff for just being there. Everybody else is fighting a battle, and Cliff's just filling up his canteen over at the Oasis.
Yeah. There's, in a little different from base Dune Imperium, there's kind of a race to see who can get 3 water in Uprising, because the Deep Desert costs 3, whereas the similar space in Dune Imperium only costs 2 water. So Cliff might want to race for 3 water to go out there and maybe even summon 2 worms in addition to getting the bonus spice.
Yeah, I guess it'll all depend on what that conflict card is going to be, if it's worth it to him as we see it flip up, which move up
This
on
one's
the track.
huge. This conflict, it's called Spice Freighters.
Yeah,
It can be huge if you have worms and you have 6 spice to trade it. So that's a pretty big ask for round 3. So it's actually probably lower stakes here. You know, if this conflict flops round 5 or 6, it can be a big swing.
yeah. Is it worth the 3 water double worm for what essentially amounts to 1 point?
Right. Yeah, I would find that dubious. I would at least want to have the 3 spice to trade in.
And it's true that space only has 2 spice on it because it's round 3, so it's not like you can even benefit from doing 1 trade by going there, grabbing 3 spice.
Yeah. I mean, we could potentially see somebody go.
Just the one, right?
Does anybody have 3 water right now? Probably not.
No, I think it's Cliff and Alan with 2 water because Alan still hasn't spent his.
Okay.
And RJ now moving up to be able to get that hook. I think we're going to see him go get that hook and remove the spy. Maybe delaying that for Strike Fleet, though, if he didn't draw Strike Fleet into his hand.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Strike Fleet is so strong that it's perfectly fine to just reveal it and take 3 swords.
Right. Yeah, and he can always use it later when he's built up the water and goes to that research station.
Nobody has shown a predilection for amassing Solari quickly to get a Swordmaster.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the new rule in Uprising, the rule that changed on Swordmaster is the first player has to pay the full 8 Solari, and then it creates a discount for the rest of the table, and they only have to pay 6 Solari. So I wonder if these players are feeling like they don't want to prioritize that because they don't want to make it easier for their opponents. However, the reason why we made that adjustment to this board was we felt like it was a little more fair. Like, win percentage correlation was pretty strongly tied to getting an early Swordmaster in base Dune Imperium.
Right.
And this helps you go later and still compete.
Yeah, these players have seen nobody seems to care about Solari at all. RJ has one sitting in front of him, but I think that was just haphazard from his win. And we see Alan finally go to get that 2 Solari. Maybe he now knows he has the green card in his hand. He can go to High Council if he wants, or can build up. But
You could also do it, and then
Yeah, he used a Sardaukar coordination to do it, which, the most fun thing to do with Sardaukar coordination is to get troops and deploy them immediately.
right.
But, if he's going for a Swordmaster line, it makes sense to use that card in that way.
Yeah. It just, again, it goes back to that first battle. With one more troop, he could have used this card, used that person for another way.
Yeah.
Cliff does go for the single worm rather than building up.
Yeah, he didn't get any bonus spice for that.
Let's see if he's going to push something else in. He uses his signet ring, so just sends his 3rd spy out.
I can't imagine he will not have any troops. Wow, he passed?
Wow.
That's risky, because if you commit a worm and you don't win rewards,
Yeah.
you wasted a lot of resources.
Yeah. Like, I feel like one troop, at least. Cliff must be preparing to... I mean, he has all of his spies on places where he can push more troops in. So he's probably just saying, listen, lulling his everybody else into a false sense of security, knowing that he can respond later. Now seeing where his spies are, I'm okay with that play a little bit. As long as he goes to a space that allows him to push something in.
Yeah, the other reason, the other thing he might be up to here is wanting to get second with his worm, because he'll get 2 water, 2 spice, and 2 troops for second.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if he takes first, he doesn't have the 3 spice to trade in.
Right.
I don't know that argument holds water, unintended, but it is a great second place for him if he can get it.
Right. Well, with John having an empty garrison and Alan seeming not interested in participating in any battles,
Yes.
I think he's got a good chance.
Send him to a makerspace, get 2 more.
Oh, this makes sense. I was a bit confused as to why RJ would seem to be prioritizing getting his Maker Hook, but probably doesn't have Strike Fleet in his hand, and he played Desert Power, so he's able to pick up a bunch of spice in that first area, and knowing that he's going to go last next time, so no chance he'd be able to do that. Somebody else would get that free spice. Might as well be him. trades for 5 spice now sitting in front of him.
So what is Alan going to do here? All right, he's going to get his Swordmaster money by going to... Wait, did he just spend a spice?
No, I don't think he had spice. I think he just took the 2.
Oh, okay. It almost looked to me like he went for
Yeah.
the spice pile, but yeah, the Solari must be a little bit off the camera.
I think it's under his player cam.
Okay.
But he does push those 2 troops in.
He's fighting!
He's fighting. He's now winning this battle. Which, hey, I might have to take it all back, Alan. You know? That 2 Solari tempo may have gotten you a win on this and up on a track. Which Alan has moved 1 space on every track so far.
Mm-hmm.
He's got plans within plans. Oh, wait.
He also has Fade's passive ability at his disposal if he wants. He has a spy on the board, so he could remove it during his reveal turn for 2 swords.
Yeah, it does feel with Fade's ability, especially if you are going combat, that going for a Spacing Guild strategy with Fade feels like a nice combo. Cliff getting in on that Benny Gesserit action.
Yeah, Cliff not interested in adding more support to his worm.
Wow, just going for that 2nd place, like you said. That feels... I mean, I guess that's his way to turn 1 water into 2 water. And get a couple spice along the way, but it feels really risky. If Gurney just goes to Arakeen, well, I guess Gurney's already taken both of his turns. And John doesn't really have access to drop some troops down based upon his board. So I guess he's kind of safe, but if Gurney has 2 daggers or is keeping Strike Fleet in his hand.
I think John may have just cheated. Oh no, he's at 2 on the Spacing Guild. Great. Yeah, he played 2 shipping, so he got 5 Solari from there.
Yeah, my other favorite application of the Spacing Guild track in Uprising is that exact space that John just benefited from.
Yeah.
That's the way to get your High Council or your Swordmaster in a big way.
It's usually a little slower than if you rush the spice refinery, but nobody has been kind of in a rush this game, so John has the benefit of like, hey, you gave me this time, I'll just take the more efficient route of shipping 3 spice for 5 Solari and a faction bump. I don't know where he took the bump.
I think he took it on Fremen. Yeah.
Smart move, considering he's Muad'Dib and he really needs to get those hooks to take advantage of his leader.
Yeah. I think John's going to have a tough time because, it looks like RJ is primed to get the hooks. Cliff already has his hook, and so that'll be two people at least who are fighting for the control of these.
It triggers now.
No, I'm just asking. What is it do?
It would 2 spice.
When discarded 2 spice, otherwise...
This doesn't count as discarding, does it?
No. And it's 2...
No, it does not count as discarding.
It is
by
It's 2 and 3 spice traded for up a track.
Strong. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Spacing Guild's favor. A lovely card. RJ getting some really strong cards in his deck compared to the other players.
Yeah,
Man.
he's bought a 6-cost card and 2 5-cost cards so far.
Yeah.
How many intrigues?
I have 2 intrigue.
2 unplayed.
Yes, I have 2 unplayed intrigue.
Okay.
That's the 7th tiebreaker. Played intrigue cards.
Cliff joking about tiebreakers. I think before they were saying, "Oh, Alan, you're in 4th seat, so if there's a tie for points and for spice and for Solari and for water, then you're going to get the win."
Don't forget about troops in garrison.
Yeah, troops in garrison. Yeah. Alan's like, "Phew! Thank goodness! Thank goodness I have that." I would love to see it come down to that. That would be
Oh my god, that would be so cool.
the wildest game of Dune Imperium ever.
What did Alan just buy?
I think Alan grabbed leadership.
No, Cliff bought leadership earlier.
Cliff bought leadership earlier. You're right. Alan bought. Oh, the Mala pistol. The Mala pistol, which had come
Okay.
up.
Oh, there's a tie for first here?
I will.
Cliff had,
an entry card.
Had a dagger.
Yeah, had a dagger, and Alan didn't have any.
This one.
Why did Margot just...
I think he played his. He revealed his spy network.
Ah, okay. Spy Network is such a good card for Margot.
Yeah.
Swing for 4 if I am feeling it. I'm not sure if I am.
Cliff says he's not sure if he's feeling his 4 buying power, but doesn't know if he's going to purchase anything. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not gonna buy.
I mean,
I
I
don't
think
know
at,
why.
at the very least, I think he should buy Prepare the Way. Like, Margot wants to get to Influence
Yeah.
2 with the Benny Gesserit anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he does, though. Even though he is one away from Benny Gesserit.
Yeah, I don't know if the viewers can see Margot, but basically Margot has a passive that says when you reach 2 Influence with the Benny Gesserit, you get 2 Spice.
Mm-hmm.
So typically you see a player playing Margot get there by mid-game, just because, you know, who doesn't want 2 Spice?
Who wouldn't want it? Yeah. Yeah, it is surprising to me if he didn't pick up a Prepare the Way, but I don't think I saw him grab it. He might have, though. We're back over to John. John seemingly in the lead on points on the point tracker, but at this point in the game, the point tracker is never really reflective, I find, of where the game is going.
Yeah, Alan, like you said earlier, he's just spread out his politicking, so he's got kind of a half a point on each of those tracks.
Yeah, looks like he's revealing 3. I think we can see just over that Guild Envoy, a 1 and a 2.
Alan's tactic here is a little unusual for Uprising, because Uprising, relative to Dune Imperium, gives you a benefit for reaching 2 Influence with every one of the factions. So
Just based
Alan
upon
is,
the cards.
Yeah, by using this tactic, he's not getting any of the advantages. Like John, you know, by getting to Spacing Guild 2, was able
Right.
to go to that very powerful shipping space.
Do some conflict. RJ has priority.
John decides not to buy anything as well. I am so shocked that that Guild Envoy is still sitting on the board. It's just, I mean, you replace the 2 cards in your hand that you need. It helps cycle through your deck, and it lets you go to politics, which is very important in the game.
Yeah,
Giving
well,
you the
it doesn't always
flexibility.
it doesn't always replace the cards. Like you do have to discard
true.
a Spacing Guild card.
True.
If you don't have a Spacing Guild card to play, it is worse than a Diplomacy because
Yes.
you have to discard a card.
That's true. And John doesn't have any spacing in his deck because he didn't pick up the Reliable Informant from the previous time.
Yeah,
Pass as well.
I mean, RJ's probably happy that he didn't pick up, because if RJ can combine that with Spacing Guild's Favor, he'll.
Yeah.
That's just like about the best combo you could get with that.
Some of my favorite things to do in this game.
And then may buy a point for 3 spice.
So
RJ, I think, did
play to combat.
played a combat intrigue.
And he has the 3 spice to get a point, right?
Yeah, he's sitting on 5.
5, get 2 back.
A great use of that intrigue card, gets full value from that.
He takes the lead.
Takes the lead. I take it all back of what I said about the tracks. RJ's unstoppable.
I mean, this is a pretty big coup to
Yeah.
have only put 1 troop in. 1
Yeah.
troop plus 1 intrigue card equals 1.5 points. One troop plus 1 intrigue plus 3 spice.
Yeah. And that hit, like, Cliff does not get value out of that worm like he was hoping to. Regretting now, I'm sure, not pushing in that extra troop. Especially when he's sitting with 6 troops now in his garrison.
I saw that. I just don't have the prices in mind. So this is
But as it stood, I think he thought he was locked in for second.
Over there.
Right.
Recall agents.
Discard.
And didn't push that additional in because I think he really wanted second, like you were saying. Like if he was going for first, obviously he would have pushed in a little bit more.
Which probably tells us that he doesn't have a combat intrigue. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
He's got 3 intrigues, and probably none of them are combat intrigues unless some of them have a requirement that he
Right.
couldn't pay.
People didn't go.
Yeah, because you'd think that he would have had to do it to get that water value on the previous. Seize the spice refinery just flips up. Where you can seize the spice refinery and get a spy and 2 spice. Everything here gets you spice and no sandworms for this conflict until the wall is broken, which I feel like all of our Fremen players pushing up on that track may not be happy about. But again, John and RJ don't have their maker hook yet, even though John is certainly going to push for it.
Who's playing first this round? Is it RJ?
I believe it's Alan, because it'll be our
Alan,
4th round.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully for John's sake, as Muad'Dib, he can get into Siege Tabor. Because a Muad'Dib without hooks is
Yeah.
not nearly as strong as the Muad'Dib in the book and the films.
Interesting. This is a curious first play from Alan, too. I guess he just wants to lock down that level 1 space. What's he going to use that spice for, though?
Did it have bonus spice? I missed
No,
it.
it just had a single spice.
Yeah, that's weird. He's probably just. I mean, I hope for his sake he's going to get Swordmaster on his
Yeah.
second turn.
I mean, he has to. Currently, nobody can fight him for it. John, well, unless there's an intrigue card but I don't think John has any. So he knows his Swordmaster is safe, but just that just feels like a really weird.
It's a weak play, especially when you could just go up to the Chome area and get 2 more Solari and draw a card, which I don't think anybody has gone there this game yet. Is that true?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Wow. yeah,
No, I think Cliff went on
Cliff went? Because I would usually much rather have
Oh
2
no,
Solari and draw
yeah.
a card.
I don't think anybody's gone there. It's been completely ignored.
Yeah.
Cliff went to the green space of intrigue and 1 influence. That's what I was thinking of.
Hmm.
Yeah, a really curious play by Alan for that one, and especially because he already has the 8 Solari, at least by our tracking, that he needs to get Swordmaster.
I mean, it's not surprising that he wouldn't get Swordmaster on his first turn.
Yeah.
What is surprising is that he would take such a weak space on his
Right.
first turn.
Yeah.
Pointed out since it's hard for me to catch. No worms until we break the wall, since it's one of these locations. This.
That is true. RJ pointing out no worms until we break the wall, but
Water.
I'm very surprised Cliff doesn't break the wall here.
And John's sad because Cliff basically blocked him
Yeah.
from getting his hooks.
We can see the disappointment on his face. Maybe that was part of Cliff's play. He's like, listen, I know there's no worms this time, but I want to make sure everybody else has a hard time catching up to me on the worm fight.
Yeah. And he also might be aware that RJ has Desert Power, and RJ can summon worms on his reveal turn with Desert Power
Mhm.
once he has hooks. But he could also break the wall with Desert Power, right? Is that... I need to
I
refer
don't.
to my
I don't.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think I'm thinking of a different card.
Yeah, Desert Power is just the top part. If you send an agent to a maker board space, you get 2 spice. or 2 influence, or if you have a hook, spend a worm,
Right.
spend a water for a worm.
Which you can't do if worms can't enter the combat.
Yeah.
So maybe Cliff is just thinking, hey, I'm not going to let you reveal that card and get a worm.
RJ could still go with his spy though and break the wall and then do the reveal.
He can't do both though. When you go to Siege Tabor, if you don't have a maker hook,
Oh, right. Yeah.
you know, you
You're right,
pretty
you're
much nobody would ever break the wall without a maker
Yes,
hook because they're not going to benefit themselves.
Yeah. My order of operations was wrong there.
Yeah, it can be tricky to think through some of those lines.
So John goes to Arakeen instead.
Is whatever is showing plus 2 more.
Up to 2 more. Well, any you gain that turn, not necessarily showing. So any you gained from any part of your turn during that turn, plus 2.
Thank you.
I'm not much.
John deciding not to push that troop in.
I wonder if John played his signet ring that turn. Did he
I
draw
think he
2?
did.
So he might be going for Long Live the Fighters.
All this value.
Yeah.
Strike Fleet, boom.
Yeah. There's that strike fleet. Drops his 3 troops down.
He should get a 4th
Plus
troop
we'll get an
also.
additional one, yeah. And he's sitting on a lot of water there too. RJ hitting that 3 water,
Wow.
which is pretty huge, especially because nobody's gone to that 3 water spot, so it currently has 3 spice on it as well. RJ kind of dominating the spice game and the water game.
And the deck building game.
Yeah. Yeah, RJ is a very scary player right now. Showing just the power of
Units
being
in
a
conflict in a single turn on a place.
He's playing
Post as another
an
place.
intrigue card. I think it's called Distraction, that lets him place if he puts at least 3 troops in, he gets to place a spy, and that spy can go on the same observation post as another player's spy.
Yeah, a great synergy for Gurney, especially, and that strike fleet, and then giving him the spy that he needs for his next strike fleet the next time it comes through his deck.
Yeah, great move.
Really nice. RJ primed not only to win this battle, but to win a key one the next time a key one pops up. Maybe next battle. We see Alan grab that Swordmaster now. Which we knew he was going to do, paying those 8 optic for Swordmaster over High Council.
I've been wondering where this card's been the whole time too. Yeah, these are the waste spots. Not if I should.
So I suppose my question now is, who is in line to get the next Swordmaster?
Mhm.
We know that John grabbed 5 Solari from shipping. Has John gotten any other Solari during the game?
I think he does. I think if we look next to his map, we can see that lone Solari.
Nice, yes.
Potentially from an earlier conflict. And so John is really primed. Alan doing that opens the door for a really easy one from John next turn. John having a lot that he wants to do. He wants to get his Maker Hook. He wants to get his Swordmaster. But as soon as he does, the game can potentially open up for him. But John, I'm worried about the lack of John's deck building. I feel like John has declined purchasing cards for a couple turns now. And I think that's going to really come back and hurt him in the later turns.
Yeah, Captured Mentat is a good card, but it can't carry your game.
Yeah, it's currently the only card that I have marked down as what John grabbed. Although I think he did grab a Prepare the Way.
Round 1, I think.
Round 1, but he also hasn't moved on the Bene Gesserit track.
Yes. Well, there goes a spy for Margot from Arakeen.
Yeah.
But he's playing his Signet Ring, which is going to let him place a spy back down on one of the circle spaces.
Mm-hmm.
keeping his spy network charged up.
Yep. And now Cliff getting into the Solari game. It's like people were waiting for Alan to buy that Swordmaster before they contemplated getting Solari.
All right, so Nick, I've got you at 34. Sure. Yeah.
I'm still so curious what Alan's going to do with that one spice and why it was so important to get. Or maybe he's building up for a different spice play. Maybe he read the field and thought, you know what? If I do this, that's going to be the only way that I push a troop in.
Maybe. Wants third place.
Yeah, he knows what he's got Swordmaster and he's got another politics turn lined up, and so wanted to make sure that he can get it.
Whoa.
Wow, John doesn't save up for the Swordmaster. He's sick of losing out on things that he wants.
This indicates that I would expect him to hit Long Live the Fighters this turn.
Yeah.
Because maybe he had like 6 in his hand or 5 in his hand, and he saw the opportunity to get Long Live the Fighters. I mean, Stilgar as a 6-coster is also one of the best cards in the game too, so you could easily just go for that.
Yeah, clearly we'll need that extra influence to buy something big this turn. But I was not expecting that whatsoever. I thought he was going to just grab Swordmaster. But if you can get a big card out of it, Long Live the Fighters has sat there for a while. He has to hope that Alan and Cliff don't have enough, but likely don't. We see a big battle going back and forth between RJ and Cliff. Whoever's going to come in second place in this, and right now it's looking like Cliff, because we don't think he has any combat intrigue cards.
Yeah,
maybe
RJ is just pushing.
Yeah.
He's pushed 7 troops in this combat, or is that 6?
Six, yeah.
I think he may have a match here with the other card that he
That
won.
makes sense. Yeah.
So he really wants to win this for another point. Oh, Alan with
wow,
an interesting play to Research Station. He's probably going for a high cost card.
Yeah, and that's horrible news for John, who sacrifices his tempo to maybe.
Why do you think it's? Because John's going to reveal first. So.
No, Alan reveals first. Alan, this is the 4th round, isn't it?
Right, but he bought a Swordmaster.
Oh, right. I just had in my head that Alan is first, and so always reveals first. But Alan actually will reveal last.
Yeah, no, I'm actually digging this game mark a lot because everybody's got something going for them. Alan is arguably, on the scoreboard, he's certainly in last place, and he's been struggling to get a lot of value from his plays, but at least he got first Swordmaster. Mm-hmm. John's been kind of stumped on the typical Muad'Dib strategy, so he's unfortunately, another underdog here. But my guess is he's going to buy the strongest card anybody will have in this game soon. And RJ is probably, the favorite at this point, just based on everything that has happened, how well he's done at deck building. But he's spending a lot on this combat.
He is. He has to, because Cliff really wanted it.
Yeah, John is probably happy to see them fight this hard. It kind of gives him a chance to dig back later.
Yeah. Well, it's also true, too, if John does get involved in the fighting, and we've seen Alan's strategy to not really get involved in the fighting, if the 3 of them are punching each other in the center, that might give Alan room to just keep on working, do his engine building strategy, grab some Spice Must Flows.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see Alan end up with Stilgar here, because John takes Long Live the Fighters and leaves Stilgar for Alan.
Yeah. Or if Alan was drawing 2 cards just to try to get points. But it feels like, again, still
it's too early.
Too early to get a Spice Must Flow. I agree. Stilgar feels like a better play.
And he did buy a Mala pistol, which combos
He did.
pretty well with Stilgar.
Yeah.
I'm picking up.
I mean, if he could get Stilgar and Unswerving Loyalty, that would be a coup, I think.
Yellow doesn't.
And just talking about it being too early to get a Spice Must Flow, John grabs the
John
Spice
bought
Must
a
Flow.
Spice Must Flow?
So he got that extra 2. That feels that feels hard. It feels like he didn't need that High Council. He could have hit 7 regardless, and so could have grabbed Long Live the Fighters, and then gotten his Swordmaster next round and really started to be a force to be reckoned with in this game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't have a chance to win with that play, but it's not something I would have done.
It
I
is
think.
tough, you know, like 4th round having essentially a dead card. It's not dead. You do get 1 spice, but it's certainly
But compared to
Yeah.
what Long Live the Fighters gives,
yeah.
like, you got to think that Long Live the Fighters is going to generate a point over time, at least 1 point over time.
Yeah. And RJ grabs that Guild Envoy, which is the thing that he can combo with Spacing Guild's
Yep.
favor if he gets them in his hand at the right time. RJ's looking better and better as this goes on. And there's that 2 influence that we were talking about with the Maker Keeper. 2 influence on Bene Gesserit, get a water. 2 influence on Fremen, get a spice. Benefiting everybody who has made it to that 2 spot.
Yep.
RJ also picks up Reliable
wow.
Informant. So, yeah, a nice grab with 5 influence, adding to that combo. RJ is playing a game that I love to play. Win your battles, jump around with your cards. I'd love to see it.
All right. This is, to me, this is the big question for Alan's game.
Yeah.
He needs to buy a powerful card here to try to claw back into this game.
Yeah, and we knew he got that extra 2 card draw with the research station. It has to have been for a reason.
He probably had 1 dagger. What did he just take? I missed it. He took a new card that flopped that I didn't see, and whoa, Guild Spy.
Yeah, he did take a new card that I also didn't have written down because it went by so quickly.
Yeah, it was in the Reliable Informant slot, and I didn't get a chance to see it. But now he just took Guild Spy, which is... You could argue that was very lucky flop for him. So that is a super strong card. It lets him place a spy immediately. And it has a strong agent box and a strong reveal box.
Yeah. That's also, that's one of my favorite cards in the game, just because of the potential to move up on multiple tracks.
Everybody's revealed.
Yeah, and he's in position. He's got 2 spies on the politics
I gave it.
spaces. So whenever
Right.
if he can reveal that card and buy a Spice Must Flow, he gains 1 influence with each faction where he has a spy.
Here, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. I think he might have purchased Covert Operations as well, which feels, just looking, I think that picture was in my mind, to make all of his opponents discard cards or just generate spies that he needs to combo. Combos really well with Guild Spy.
Yeah, but he didn't know Guild Spy was going to flop.
It was
Wow.
a prescient move from Alan.
I mean, it is cool just with Fate to have Covert Ops because you can like place the spies and immediately recall 1 for 2
Right.
swords.
So that might have been what he was thinking. I am blown away that Long Live the Fighters is still on the board and Stilgar is still on the board.
I mean, Alan may have only had 5 there because I think he bought. Oh no, he bought
No,
2
he had
threes.
6. Yeah.
He had 2 threes. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go for Stilgar.
I mean, I think it worked out for him because I think
I agree.
Guild
It worked
Spy
out for him.
is great. He's a great draw. But perhaps a pretty lucky draw for Alan.
And Maker Keepers is almost as strong as a 2-cost card can be.
Yeah.
We certainly debated it during the development of this product. And I think it ended up in a really good spot where people are excited to buy some of the low-cost cards more so than they were in the base game.
And 2 space.
Yeah, a perfect one for this board's Lady Margot, who presumably is still going to be pushing up on Benny Gesserit at some point, and is already at 2 on Fremen.
Also perfect for whoever gets Stilgar, if anybody does get Stilgar.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the double tag of Fremen and Benny Gesserit.
So RJ is.
And we got the point or not?
I think RJ won that.
But did he take his point?
I think he's
doing it now.
Right
now he took it.
Yeah, because I think he was under John. There, the points as they stand: Alan at 1 hasn't moved, Cliff at 2, John at 4, and RJ at 5. But in my opinion, it feels like it's RJ 1.
Just played him last turn and he shuffled.
With that draw, maybe Alan 2, but Cliff's got so much in his garrison. Alan and Cliff are kind of in second place, tied for me. Cliff, I think, gives the edge, and then John, with that unfortunate Spice Must Flow decision, I think that's going to end up really hurting him.
Yeah, we don't.
I agree.
I know this one. It's this one. It's this one.
This is another shield wall conflict.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, shuffle everything.
Oh, we hear the players talking. There was just a little brain lapse on Alan's part. He drew his cards before shuffling in some other cards, so they just retconned that. He was like, "Listen, this is very clearly the card that I bought last turn. We all know." So there was no worry about the table about him drawing the wrong card, and easy to verify. Long live the fighters, lives long on the Imperium row. And we're over into turn 5.
Oh, is he going to blow the wall here? No, he took he took a troop in a water. Interesting. I can understand why he didn't want to blow the wall again, just because he doesn't want to help RJ. But I almost expected it since he had 2 water, and maybe. Well, I guess the problem is RJ has 3 water. He didn't want to just allow RJ to immediately go there.
I
and
think
get
that's
2
it.
worms.
I think we're going to see now maybe a cold war between the wall being blown up. Nobody wants to take the action to blow up the wall. Somebody wants to draw an intrigue card that lets them blow it up, and then have that in their back pocket to summon worms.
Yeah. These are some of my favorite game arcs in Uprising. When multiple people have access to worms, and there is that kind of standoff on whether you blow the wall or not. And this mix of conflict cards so far has suppressed the power of worms because we've seen multiple shield wall conflicts so far. So unless somebody pulls the trigger, worms may not factor hugely into the game.
Which then hurts a little bit for the people who have invested in them.
And sadly, John Muad'Dib, the player who is most interested in getting maker hooks and worms, is yet to get his maker hooks. Cliff just constantly blocks him. I wonder if John is feeling targeted here.
Yeah.
10 space.
He does go for it. RJ decides to spend his water regardless and gets 10 spice because he played his desert power to go there. 10 spice. RJ sitting on 14 spice with a lot of spacing cards in his deck.
Oh, right.
I would be terrified of RJ right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the way Cliff has been blocking John has been just playing to RJ's game in a way.
And Alan paying no mind and going to Benny Gesserit. Dropping another spy. I wouldn't be surprised to see... Oh, he removes it. but he might drop it back down.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I'm going to say you can do that. You can't tell us to discard a card first. The
Oh.
spy coming up
Oh.
has to be the very first thing.
Well-
you didn't draw a card, right?
I did not draw anything.
Okay. So you're going to take the spy
Yeah.
and draw a card.
Yeah, I
And then you can do other.
You're just
Oh,
doing
okay.
order of
Yeah,
operations.
order of
I'm cool with
operations.
it, though. You
yeah,
guys are
because
cool with it,
I'm
right?
dropping a spy anyways.
Yeah.
Because I want to.
Yeah, Alan's saying I'm dropping a spy anyway. That's why I'm pulling it up.
Sweet. Yeah.
He's
yeah,
going
yeah.
to drop it
I
right
see
back
good.
in the
I
spot,
just
which
so
makes
you know
sense.
how it
Yeah,
works.
If he
but
was
you
leaving
do,
it
but
there,
you do have to say it out loud,
yeah.
otherwise.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alright, so cool. So then you're gonna draw two. You're gonna put the spy back on this spot.
I think Cliff's well within
Yeah.
his bounds
Yeah.
to like make sure things are going
Agreed.
in an orderly fashion.
100%. Yeah, Cliff has been very good in terms of making sure everything's on the up and up, both for the players and for everybody else at the table.
It's simultaneous.
You have to discard a card from my hand? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, a really nice play from Alan. We know he wants to keep those two spies on the board
Oh, yeah, sorry.
for Guild Spy. I was kind of surprised that he didn't drop another spy down, maybe on the Emperor track.
Well, you do see this a lot. People not wanting to give up the ability to go to the Bene Gesserit whenever they can. So they kind of monopolize that one spy location, even if they pull.
Oh no,
yeah,
I meant
you're
not
saying
remove,
if he didn't
exactly.
pull, just go. Yeah, I mean,
have those three, and then Guild Spy becomes ridiculously powerful if he's able to get a
I
spy
agree.
spell.
It's just so hard to know without seeing his hand, right? Like he just might have felt like I need to draw as many cards here as possible,
Yeah.
otherwise I'm going to have a bad round.
It also could be he's sitting on Guild Spy, but needs that extra
Draw.
draw in order to even hit Spice Must Flow, because
Yeah.
as he's sitting, he doesn't have a ton of large cards in his deck. I mean, he does have Sardaukar Coordination, and Guild Spy does give him two, but Mala Pistol only gives him one. Covert Operation doesn't really give him any.
Foiled at every turn.
Yeah, it seems like nobody is that interested in the Emperor in this game.
Yeah,
Oh, speak of the devil.
the literal devil. And we see Cliff go there. Cliff, and recognizing that the Swordmaster spot is still open, and won't be able to get it this round. He will be going last next round, but John gave up his Solari. RJ doesn't have Solari, just has Spice. So I think,
Yeah.
is it too late to get a Swordmaster? When's too late to get a Swordmaster?
Round 7, it starts to become
Right.
questionable. Round 8 is probably too late for
Yeah.
sure.
We'll be going to round 6 next, so it could be back and forth depending upon what Cliff has. He also could just be saving up resources for what I thought was Cliff's game plan to try to delay the game until the round 3 conflicts happen, and then grab those essentially 4.5 points if you have enough resource conversions. But now with RJ having such a dominant lead in Spice, it feels like RJ's just going to wreck most of these conflicts whenever he
Yeah.
wants.
And John just conceded this conflict, not interested, even though the rewards here are really strong, especially for people chasing Swordmasters.
That's true. I mean, I guess if he's second, he would get 4, and he has 1 still by my count because he spent 5 on there. And we see the highliner happen, and RJ's still sitting with 9 spice after going to a highliner. That's just absurd.
Yeah.
And why not push them all in at this point? You're going to get 2 back.
Would you go full 7 or 5?
Well, he only has 5, right?
Well, he didn't play. Did he already drop them?
No, he just
Oh,
dropped
oh,
them.
he had
yeah, he
none
just
in
he
his-
had none in his garrison.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't go 7. I would go 5.
You can't go 7 because
If
it's
I
cheating.
did, if I did have 7.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I probably wouldn't take 2 troops from off the board and push them in.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm allowed to, I would go 7.
Wait, that's an option. We heard it here from Paul Denon, designer of Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm going to refer to this every time I play with my friends. I'll say, hey, Paul said I could.
I'm going to get a lot of questions on this. He's a little greedy. He only pushed 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He might have strike fleet in hand, thinking like, oh, I've got 3 more swords.
Yeah, really surprising only 4 because he's going to be getting... It feels like troops mean nothing to him at this point with the amount of spice that he has.
It's opportunity cost more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess with the amount of space... Under your theory,
But it's
that
also...
works if he gets the alliance for the Spacing Guild.
Yeah.
But if John starts to go for that alliance, then he could be... Yeah, going to Highliner, getting 5 troops, but unless he converts that alliance point, that's a hefty cost.
Right. And we see Alan just say, yeah, I'll take 3 Solari for free. Appreciate it. I'll build up towards my High Council now.
Yeah.
Which, again, a really surprising decision from John not to push in.
Yeah, he might not have had the right symbols, I suppose.
Another reason why RJ only needed to push in 4 is, again, we don't think Cliff has combat intrigue cards, although he has had some cycle since we thought about that. But also, Cliff had already put both of his people out, so we knew that the likelihood of Cliff putting more things in is small, especially if he is sitting on those swords in hand. So I can buy that from RJ.
It's also possible, maybe unlikely, that John has a detonation intrigue. There's 2 copies in the intrigue deck. He played captured Mentat and got an extra intrigue this round, so he's probably sitting on 3 intrigues. A detonate would allow him to push troops from his garrison into the combat, and maybe he was thinking about doing that, although with RJ coming in with 4, that means he can't do it to win.
Well done. Card. Nice card.
And we see Cliff does grab that Maker Keeper, like we were talking about, how it will be useful for Lady Margot. Revealed that we haven't talked about are In High Places and Public Spectacle as well.
Both good cards. Public Spectacle probably the stronger for its cost. In High Places can be strong if you're a heavy Bene Gesserit deck, which I don't believe anybody is.
I don't believe anybody is either.
You do get a spy immediately when you buy it.
Which it looks like John is going for.
Yeah.
Interesting. John thinking ahead, thinking it can't possibly, I can't possibly be blocked about my Maker Hook for this long. I'll invest in the 3 water space to make sure that I can drop worms in. And he grabs another Prepare the Way. John's deck is now sort of the only Bene Gesserit possibility. So he did grab In High Places, grabbed another Prepare the Way. The only other card he's really grabbed is Captured Mentat. Otherwise, it's just been Prepare the Way. He might have 2, he might have 3, but I think he only has 2.
The Spy on Deep Desert is definitely unorthodox. Most worm spy players would go to Haga because it's more likely that, like, you only have to pay 1 water, you get a worm in, which is going to double your rewards anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to dig into it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it is a surprising spot. I think putting it back over on Seek Tabor would likely have been better because then it still opens you up for the research station as well.
RJ just got a Public Spectacle.
Naturally, we talk about how good the card is, and RJ decides to add it to his collection of great cards.
Best deck got better right there. And he didn't reveal Strike Fleet. He's only on 8 strength, so he really was greedy here with this combat. And he looks like he might get away with it because Cliff has shown that he doesn't have combat cards.
Yeah.
It's your fault for not beating him in GWT. You know who to beat him?
Interesting that this is a whole round after the first Swordmaster where nobody got second Swordmaster. That's not how it usually plays out at my table.
Yeah, nobody seemed to have it. Like, nobody had the Solari because John was primed to, but then opted for High Council, and then Cliff just got the Solari now.
It's almost like they're playing the game without understanding that accept contract is a board space. Because accept contract is like draw a card and get 2 Solari, which can often kind of bump you up into that Swordmaster range.
It could be sort of like lack of Chome module blindness, so to speak.
Yeah,
you
could
just
be.
you just go, oh, okay, those aren't in the game, so you don't really see it as 2 Solari. You see it just as a draw card.
Could be. Oh, here's a big buy from Alan. Finally, we see Long Live the Fighters go to somebody.
Alan gets Long Live the Fighters.
Go to discard with reveal.
A great fighting card, but that also is going to help Alan, potentially get at least one card out of his deck, potentially hit the stuff he needs for his Spice Must Flow strategy now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly a great card. It's starting to get to the point in the game where you wonder how many times you could play a great card. But Long Live the Fighters is particularly strong because it can cycle through your deck faster than normal, so you can hit it multiple times. And the Fremen Alliance is up for the grabs. Everybody has 2 influence, so he might just use it to go to like Fremkit whenever he can.
Yeah, it's surprising. Everybody was all in on Fremen and then got to the point for their Maker Hooks and then said, okay, I'm done with that space.
We're done. We don't need your alliance. We just need the worms.
Alan's like, okay, well, if nobody's going to do it, I'm happy to move up on everything. Alan still wants to move up on a couple tracks, but...
All the troops die. Archer gets the card.
Spice them up, please.
Yeah, RJ does get away with that. What a great read from RJ.
Getting away with a crime here.
His greed pays off. RJ playing exactly how I would like to play. I am absolutely a greedy player.
And he's a full 2 points ahead of the next player with the potential to get the Spacing Guild point, Alliance point pretty easy, and the potential to get Benny Gesserit point pretty easily.
Yeah.
New conflict, last one on level
which
2.
would put him at 8 if he gets if he converts those 2.
And then he just needs, next round, then he needs to build up so that he can hit a level 3 conflict, hoping to get his other 2 points. If he can grab those this round.
I think he just won an Ornithopter there, and this
Yeah.
is a Desert Mouse.
John gets his hook.
Finally.
Muad'Dib is in the game.
Go Muad'Dib.
And grabs more water.
What can I put in?
But unfortunately, another shield wall conflict, so worms are really not going to impact this game a lot.
And John deciding that he just needs to win something. It doesn't matter what. He does have a mouse from a previous his previous conflict, so he'll get a point by winning this conflict. It feels like round 6 is always a tough spot to be in terms of a conflict. For me, if it's not a really incentivizing battle, I almost don't like to participate in battles on round 6 because I know how much more valuable a level 3 is versus a level 2.
Agreed. Yeah, it's very context dependent round.
Yeah, of course it depends, right? If that conflict that we saw in round 3 came up, where you can convert your spice that RJ's sitting on, then it makes sense. But for something like this, I don't know. It doesn't feel.
Ooh, diplomacy. Is he going back to? Question is he going back to the Highliner? I think I'm with you, and I probably would pass on this round. Okay, he is passing on Highliner, but he is going to secure the Alliance, which will get him to Swordmaster money.
Yeah. I really like Yeah, it's interesting because I wonder how many opportunities in his deck he has for Benny Gesserit. I think he only has Guild Envoy left to get him there, whereas a lot of his cards will allow him to go to Space and Guild. So while I think he's grabbing that water to have the opportunity to push in worms again, depending upon what the conflict is next round, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I guess you want to
If
get
it
that
was-
Solari. You want
Yeah,
to
if
get
it
that
was just the
Solari.
water, you'd have a strong point. But
Yeah.
because he's
You
getting
want that
Swordmaster
Solari.
money, I
Yeah.
think it's well worth passing on the Benny Gesserit.
Yeah.
Did you just play that last turn?
You shuffled it. You shuffled it. Shuffled his, I shuffled mine. Yeah, you shuffled it.
Is there another shuffle issue, or just
No,
joking around?
just joking around. I think.
We help each other.
We call we call this and put the Spanish on that joint.
Yeah, he's saying,
doing the same
didn't
with-
you do this last turn?
Take your space though.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have to.
And did he use the card that's making everybody discard again?
Yeah, I think he definitely has covert operations in front of him.
Okay, so yeah, everybody's just like, hey, come on, you did that last round.
Yeah. Yeah, Alan making a really nice push there. His combo starting to pop off that he managed to see the future of in true Dune Imperium style, knowing that Guild Envoy might come out. I mean, he hasn't used the Guild Envoy yet, but just the covert operations really coming true for him.
Yeah, hopefully he can trigger it this round and then get 2 points off of it. One
Yeah.
and get the Benny Gesserit Alliance and the Space and Guild point.
Right.
I should have asked before. Is pepperoni and cheese all right? Well, you have 5 minutes to eat, guys. Whoever wins, you have 5 minutes. It's important.
You have 5 minutes to eat.
This is John just reminding them of their time. They'll have a little bit more time than that, but just making sure that the longer the game goes, Cliff says, I'm not going to win, so it doesn't matter. Cliff already seemingly have given up.
So the winner of this game advances to the
The
finals?
Yeah, the winner of this game will advance to the final round. So this game started at 9 a.m. And had a hard sort of cutoff at 12:45. So players would be put on a timer as well. I think this one finished. I cut about 40 minutes of thinking time out of it. So I think it was just under the 3-hour mark for the full game. So it would have finished around 12.
So they get to have a leisurely lunch?
Get to have a leisurely lunch as they wait for other ones to come out to finish up. Cliff grabs a bunch of spice there.
Yeah. I can't tell how much spice he has. 6 maybe?
I think it's 6. Yes, correct. Certainly seems that way. A nice grab with the 6 spice because Cliff and RJ's strategies seem to be the same, which is dominate the battles. And so now Cliff does have that pressure, that highliner pressure on RJ. I think RJ is less inclined to go to highliner now too because he has pushed up on spacing, but it's still an amazing space that really helps your chances of winning a battle. So
Oh yeah. Especially when these shield wall conflicts are in place and nobody can
yeah,
summon worms. Alan has, I don't know how much spice he has, but he has Sardaukar coordination, which is better, in my opinion, than going to highliner because you pay 1 less spice for 1 less troop, but you also get an intrigue card, and you can push those 4 troops with Sardaukar coordination.
right. Yeah, grabbing that entry card is clutch. I also think that Alan hasn't cared about conflict this entire game.
Right, which I think is to his detriment. He might be too much in the mode of base Dune Imperium, which you can pretty easily steal some games without fighting much, or if at all. But in Uprising, you kind of have to find your spots and get in there at least once or twice to earn, your match for your starting battle icon.
Mm-hmm.
And also, just like I said at the start, the rewards tend to be a little better.
I also think that Alan certainly doesn't have much spice, if any. I think he has maybe 1, but I think he doesn't have any because he's been going to that Benny Gesserit space now twice in a
Right.
row and hasn't really had an opportunity to re-up on his spice.
Yeah. I mean, if there is a non-combat strategy that can win in Uprising more than any other, it is the Guild Spy strategy.
Mm-hmm. And John pushing in a ton of troops here.
Well, like you said, he has the Desert Mouse, so
Yeah.
he wants to match it. Here comes a public spectacle, which can be big. Where's his spy? Arakeen?
Yeah,
And that's his only spy?
I think that's it. And so that's potentially why RJ also didn't care about.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
He didn't take the free point with the Bene Gesserit. He's
Yeah.
going for Fremen, which is gutsy.
I like it because he knows he can get the Bene Gesserit whenever he wants. You know, not necessarily whenever, but you know those spaces are open.
Yeah, I agree. But like as the table leader, you really shouldn't be able to get away with any tight alliance race. People are going to pick on him if they can.
Yeah.
I would. Especially Alan, who has Long Live the Fighters. He can go to Fremen, cycle his deck, and
That's true.
get there faster a second time.
Yeah. I like it because it's another greedy play, Paul.
Yeah, as far as I understand, RJ, as good as his deck is, he doesn't have a ton of... Well, no, you're right. He had Guild Envoy, and Guild Envoy can go to Fremen because it can
Yeah.
go anywhere.
Yeah, so it would just be Guild Envoy and Diplomacy left in
Yeah.
his deck. And speaking of Diplomacy, we see Alan immediately respond to
Yeah.
RJ's push,
Good play, Alan.
saying, yes, have you forgotten I have 3 workers? I can absolutely spend one there.
Alan's like, I'm not standing up to the bullies on the combat,
Yeah.
but I will stand up to the political bullies.
Yeah. I think a really good response. And I think that's exactly it. I think.
Oh, he is fighting
Wow.
too. I wonder if how many intrigues does he have? It's hard to see.
Yeah, he hasn't really played a bunch of them, but
Because this is
He at
not
least
the
has a
combat to
couple.
this is not the combat to walk into to come to unless you've got firepower in your back pocket.
yeah. Or maybe he has one of those intrigue cards where he can retreat things for points.
That could be. This is the kind of game where detonation. There's like 4 intrigue cards in the intrigue deck that can blow the shield wall.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of game where it could end with an explosive intrigue card that does that to allow somebody to sneak in worms when the other players weren't expecting it.
Absolutely.
There's the 2 Solari.
Hey, Cliff has heard us talking.
Oh, did he go to accept contract?
We see it. We see
Finally!
it finally happen. He uses
Still-
his signet ring to do it.
But wait, did RJ didn't take his Swordmaster?
No, RJ
He
didn't.
played Public Spectacle instead.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I wanted to comment on that too, and we just kept on moving forward. But yeah, he didn't at all, which is really shocking. Like, what else is he going to do with that Solari? Unless, again, you have an intrigue card, which is spend 5 for a point.
I'm guessing he didn't have a Pentagon.
Yeah, he might have just been limited with his specific cards, or just wanted to try to prioritize that Fremen. It will be going into round 7, so RJ will get to go first next turn, and so getting that bump gives him the chance to steal the Fremen point, hopefully win a point with this conflict,
Yeah.
and then maybe bump up to Bene Gesserit and hope that nobody can catch him, even if they do worm the conflict.
But to kind of rewind to the point you were making earlier about like maybe you go to Bene Gesserit instead of deliver supplies
Mhm.
to get the alliance point. The only reason why I
Right.
thought deliver supplies was better is to set yourself up for Swordmaster.
Agreed, yeah. Because he has so many Spacing Guild in his deck, like the chance of hitting it are...
Yeah. And, if you stay on 3 influence, you go there to Highliner, During a big conflict, you get the
Yeah.
alliance and you commit those 5 troops and
Yeah,
block other
agreed.
people from going to Highliner.
Agreed.
4, so 7.
Yeah, that was the only sort of major benefit of going there, is to get that Solari to.
Reveal, +1.
It looks like
6.
Green has 3 swords. Maybe he revealed Strike Fleet. So
Yeah.
he's in good shape to take second place here.
Because he's gotten rid of his daggers. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how he gets to 6, because Strike Fleet is 3. Is he at 7? Oh, he is
I
at
think
7.
he's at 7,
He
yeah.
is at 7, yeah. So he must have revealed Strike Fleet.
Stilgar.
Of course, it didn't belong in any other deck.
Now it's an embarrassment of riches, although at this stage of the game, he would have much rather had a Spice Must Flow.
Yeah, for sure.
And is Alan going to get a Spice Must Flow? Alan still has an agent, right?
Nice 6.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't see his third one out. Alan should, I think, have a water as well, so there's potentially he could just go to Fremen and snag it now.
Oh, well, that would be huge.
But I'm not sure if he has a water.
He might also want to reveal Long Live the Fighters for the 3 swords here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, potential. Knowing he had Long Live the Fighters, a reason to push those troops in.
Which therefore makes this more luck dependent.
I think maybe Alan may not have the water.
Prepare
but-
the way.
but wants to grab.
That's a cheat. He cannot go to that space.
It costs you to
Oh,
have
okay.
Okay, they caught it.
Yeah.
So that's illegal?
He tried to go to Imperial Privilege, which requires 2 influence with the Emperor. It's a great space, especially in the late game.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is the price everybody's paying for not having paid the Emperor his dues.
Yeah.
Do I have to play this?
Yeah. I'm interested to see what Alan is going to do.
Oh, Sardaukar coordination. Okay, now he's getting
He's getting the influence that he'll
the
need.
influence. Hopefully, that doesn't take him away from revealing for a Spice Must Flow. If we suspect that he's got Guild Spy ready to reveal.
But what I was building to is that Alan might really want second place in this conflict because he knows he needs to hit his Spice Must Flow, so he knows he needs to research station to have the best chance of doing that.
Next
to get
round?
next round to do that additional card draw. So I think that could be the reason for Alan pushing in,
Sure, 20.
thinking,
Yeah.
okay, this is my chance to get that 2 water.
But he already drew cards this round, so he drew 3 cards in his first 2 plays, right? He
Right.
went Fremkit and then
Yeah.
Benny Gesserit and Recalled a Spy. So I really hope that he has Spice Must Flow, because if you invest your moves
Yeah.
to draw like that and don't hit it, that's a pretty big blow.
I think Cliff just grabs a double agent, or Alan grabbed the double agent maybe. So it got cleared from the row.
I don't think it would have been Alan because
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he took an agent turn.
I'm not sure why that happened, but maybe it was an intrigue card.
This must be revealing buying a Spice Must Flow with Guild Spy, even though
Right.
we can't see it on the screen.
All right, read the card.
So he is now tied for the lead based on gaining 3 points this round, right?
Yeah.
1 from the Benny Gesserit, 1 from the Space and Guild, and 1 from the Spice Must Flow.
Yeah,
This is the kind of turn that makes players go, "Wait, what does that card do?"
yeah. They said, "Would you read the card out loud? Would you read that again?" Yeah, we saw exactly what he was building up to with all that additional card draw. a monstrous turn from Alan, puts him right
Yeah.
back in the game, and now RJ is sweating a bit. I think RJ's sitting up a little.
The only bad thing for Alan here is why push the troops. Like you said, for his sake, hopefully he does have a retreat intrigue card.
Yeah.
No, he just wasted the 2 troops because he just passed. That could come back to haunt him.
Yeah. Yeah, a really surprising push in with those troops, especially because the board state was that when he pushed in.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
knew those troops were in. If you didn't have a plan for those troops, why bother pushing the troops? I mean,
Unless he's just, is he going for style points? Is he basically saying, I don't need combat. I will throw my troops away.
Yeah, he wants to keep it spicy. There could have been a potential where he was banking on using that space that he misinterpreted with the Emperor, the 2 influence on the Emperor.
Right. You're right. That's
And
probably what happened. That's unfortunate.
And so had a different plan and was forced to pivot.
Yeah.
And is paying the penalty for that.
And then you get 2 spice. And one of the troops.
And we go to round 7 with 1 player having a Swordmaster.
And RJ.
Wow.
Each get a water.
That's wild.
If we tie, it's.
You go down, yeah, you get a water at the bottom.
That's what I just said.
Gotcha, just checking.
Yeah, RJ and Cliff tying for third. Well, second, but getting the third reward.
Yeah.
I'm going to stack some spice.
Grabbing
Cliff-
that extra water.
Cliff is a bit dejected now, right? Because he's like way behind.
Yeah.
Pass first
He
player.
committed so early to worms, and then all
Yeah.
of these conflicts came up that disallowed worms.
Yeah. And he never blew the shield wall because he didn't want to give RJ the advantage.
Yeah.
And now
Interesting.
everybody has water too.
And then we pass the first player token.
Yeah, Cliff is 1 step away on Bene Gesserit, 1 step away on Emperor to get a 2-point swing,
And the recall rate.
and then could have a big worm turn, depending. I mean, he is sitting on 12 Solari, so if the right card comes up for Cliff, he could potentially get himself a lot of points, a 4-point move, maybe 5 if the symbol matches up. I mean, it is.
It is the one you're talking about, and this is where one of those intrigue cards that blows the wall could be absolutely crucial.
Yeah,
Because you got the bane.
and RJ gets a troop in there because he already has the spice refinery. RJ has almost everything.
So
But
who plays first this round?
I think it's RJ, who, if he didn't go to Fremen, I would be shocked, but maybe he can't.
He can't.
He can't. It's that decision. He has another spacing guild.
Is he? He's got to be going Highliner
He
here.
has to go Highliner. But his decision to go Spacing Guild earlier is really biting him in the butt right now because he didn't need that Solari. He could have been pushed up on something else.
And he's passing on Swordmaster here, which could give it to somebody else who has 6.
Which, yeah, at this point, it just helps delay the turn, right?
Yeah, I think if you're Cliff, you probably should take Swordmaster here, even though it's late.
Unless he's sitting on an exploding wall, in which case.
But how are you gonna win this battle? Even if you can explode the wall and get worms, like RJ just pushed a ton of troops.
Yeah. This is RJ's play, right? This is the reason why he didn't go Swordmaster is because he also sees the 6 Solari. These are well, I guess it's 2 points. But it's also a Desert Mouse, which might link up.
Did RJ play an intrigue there to get extra troops? Because there's just more than I expect to be in the conflict.
No, he started with 1 in there because it's Spice Refinery.
Oh, good call.
There is it's a game over situation.
Cliff dejected by RJ's first move there.
I mean, Swordmaster gives you a better chance to win the conflict, even if you do have one of those shield wall blowing intrigues, because it's gonna stop RJ from doing more this round.
Yeah, Alan just went to Arakeen, again, focusing on that card draw. Also didn't go to Fremen.
Didn't go to Fremen, yeah.
Maybe he didn't have the card in his hand.
Didn't have Long Live the Fighters because he didn't play it last round.
Wow.
Did he? Unless he did and I missed it.
I don't think he did because
He didn't have swords, so he couldn't reveal it. He didn't play it to Fremkit.
what's Cliff going to do here? Does Cliff go Frem? Cliff can't afford to go Fremen. I don't know. Maybe he does.
Wow.
To also be this three-way battle for that alliance token.
Wow.
I think Cliff just needs to be able to push troops in, though, and also that's the best usage for him. It's tough that he can't bump himself up on Emperor or Bene Gesserit. Cliff needing those point bumps, but I guess Cliff needs to win this battle, have the game go to round 8, and then hopefully win the second battle to propel him to victory. That's his.
Yeah, but how is he going to win this battle without a Swordmaster?
Yeah.
And with just 3, and he hasn't been showing strength with his intrigues. So do you think RJ maybe had a diplomacy to go to Fremen and chose the Highliner instead?
It could be. I guess we'll see it right now. I don't see how RJ wouldn't go to Fremen now. I mean, RJ, unless he's sitting on a shield wall that he wants to blow it up and try to win right here to get 3 points in the conflict.
It would almost be funny if John went to Fremkit and just everybody was on 3.
Yeah.
He gets 3 spice.
Is it 4 or 3?
You have your banner.
He gets 4 spice total.
This here.
Yeah, it's 4 spice.
I'm gonna take it off.
And
John just getting some consolation spice there. Yeah, I'm on pins and needles seeing what RJ does here.
Yeah, Fremkit play might just lock the game down. Does that get him if he? Yeah, he has enough to win the game if he goes to Fremkit because he takes the alliance, wins the combat, and gets 2 points from the combat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he needs to point from the alliance, and then it's locked in as long as he wins the combat. He doesn't need anything fancy.
It's also possible that he just has Spice Must Flow this round, and he's going to lock it in with a win, even if he doesn't get the Fremen alliance.
Yeah, or he goes to Bene Gesserit, which he's one move away from a point there.
Which is the safer place to go, right?
Yeah, so that somebody can't take it away from him. He just loses the ability to push in that last troop.
True.
But also could get an intrigue card, so he might get more value out of that combat battle anyway.
I mean, you could. His best turn would be go to Secrets, draw an intrigue card that gets him an influence with the Fremen and get 2 points.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, just do that. Yeah, just do
just
that.
do that. It's easy.
That seems obvious to me.
Game's easy when you can just call out the cards you want to draw.
Yeah, if I'm reading this correctly, when you draw an intrigue card, you get to search through the whole deck and pick whichever one you want, right?
Wow.
I just want to get the official word from the designer.
You're hurting me. It hurts. It stings. He's thinking.
He's thinking. There was a big cut there too, so I know I cut out some thinking time.
Which leads me to believe he has a bad hand.
Yeah.
And he's looking for some way to scrape on an extra point here.
Mm-hmm. Again, I don't mean to keep harping on it, but this goes back to that choice of... I mean, he does have the Solari now, which he wouldn't have, but he would have moved up on Spacing Guild, so he would have the Solari. He would have still have the amount of Solari needed to get that extra point. So he could have gone Bene Gesserit and just have that point locked in, and then if he wins this conflict, he could spend all his time worrying about this conflict to make sure he hits that 10.
I wonder if he's thinking about blowing the wall at Siege Tabor, if he has his Desert Power in hand, which he doesn't. It looks like it's in his discard pile, so never mind. Signet Ring's going to get him an extra troop.
Hey, might as well invest in the battle.
He has 2 water. Why not just go to Research Station?
Right.
Get a Spice Must Flow, add 4 troops to the battle to lock it in.
Absolutely. That seems like the for sure optimal play here. He then blocks.
If he can get a Spice Must Flow.
Yeah. But even still, if he's worried about... If he doesn't have a good hand, he can't go and get the points in diplomacy. He might as well.
Well, he wouldn't. It wouldn't be a good play if he doesn't end the game this round,
Right.
because he'd be giving up his water.
That's true. Can Alan get 3 points? If Alan takes Fremen, Alan's pretty much moved on.
Oh, he's thinking of going to. Wow. It's.
Wow.
I don't understand this play.
That is really shocking to me.
I mean, unless he's just confident that his intrigue cards, like that, nobody else can beat him in this combat, and he's confident that he already has a Spice Must Flow, probably in hand, if he's not drawing.
Red gets a point in water.
Oh, and Alan draws into his Fremen that he needed.
And it's the Long Live the Fighters, which lets him do the trick.
You can, well, you can choose which way these resolve.
Okay.
So you can do the 3 thing or the draw a card first. And you can check how many cards you have left in your deck, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll draw a card first.
Okay.
Alan's drawing the card first, and then he's going to activate Long Live the Fighters.
3, draw 1, discard 1, trash 1.
Draw 1, discard 1.
Well, there's 1 point for Alan. If he gets a Spice Must Flow, it's the second one. Could he get a third? Well, he does have... I mean, he does have another person to put down. That's the benefit of that Swordmaster.
If he has an intrigue that gets him an Emperor rank?
Yeah, that's exactly sort of the play. Or if he happened to shuffle and draw back into Guild Spy, but I think his deck is too big for that. He could try to drop a Spy on Emperor and then just move up the track on there too.
Yeah, that's going to be tough with as few actions as he has, but...
Yeah, RJ's play up there with the green, especially when he had Signet Ring. It's really shocking to me that he doesn't push in some capacity. I think you're right. I think Research Station might have made the most sense, especially because he's going last next turn. So his water is good, but like Cliff and John have a lot of water as well and are going to want to monopolize the worm spaces if a worm conflict comes up next round.
Yeah. Have to give credit where credit's due. Alan, as bad of a start as I thought he had and as little value as he's gotten from combats, has played really well this game and is at least going to put in a strong finish if he doesn't win.
Yeah.
And he paid the high price for Swordmaster, gave everybody else a discount, and they just declined.
Yeah. Cliff saying, please, needing to draw one specific card from his deck. I don't know what that one is, but Cliff...
Ooh, Cliff's fighting.
Cliff pushing in troops, for sure.
RJ doesn't look scared. I don't know if that's just because he has a very a poker face, and he's not going to show anything, but...
I think Cliff may be doing some exchange with an intrigue card there, or no?
That was the turn that he would have blown the wall and summoned 2 worms if he could have, right? So
yeah,
that's not happening.
There is an intrigue card that lets you blow the wall and summon worms at the same time, isn't there? I think I've lost to that card.
Yes. It costs 2 water. It's called Unexpected Allies. It costs 2 water, and it lets you blow the wall and summon a worm, even if you don't have Maker Hooks.
Yeah, yeah. I have absolutely lost to that card. I was super confident, and then I was like, there's no way someone can beat me in this battle, and even if they do, they won't win. And then they beat me in the battle and got 5 points, and I lost in a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's one of those low moments that is unhappy to experience, but as a game designer, you're happy that it is part of the range of the experiences.
Yeah, for sure. It was a very exciting finish.
What just happened there? Did he take back his play? Like he was going to play the Sarah card, and now he's changing his mind? Okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, he's taking back his play. He didn't look at the intrigue card, so the player's like, fine, because he thought he could push those 4 troops in, and then didn't. so he reversed his play because seeing if there's anything else that he could do. But Highliner's locked up. If you're still playing Diplomacy, what else are you
I
going to
guess
do?
he's going to Secrets if he's still playing Diplomacy, or
Or he'll just accept his fate.
yeah.
Okay, swimming, play same play, diplomacy, played, four spice out, intrigue, and 4 troops to the garrisons.
It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, Cliff has been very good about having a watchful eye on all the players and making sure they do everything in proper order.
Maybe to his own detriment.
Maybe to his own
I'm not
detriment.
sure.
That
He's
has
definitely
happened with me when I teach games.
Yeah, me
Sometimes
too.
I'm so focused on like the other players' methods, I look down and I think, oh, I've been working through your turn. I haven't been working through mine. It's that same discussion of constantly looking through somebody's discard pile or not, getting too
Yeah.
focused on someone else.
I mean, he had a good opening. He just, like we said, he ran into so many shield wall conflicts that he never got to leverage the early worm.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17.
17.
It's not quite enough to get your +1 buying power, probably. That's too bad.
So Cliff's going to need to come up with at least 7 strength in addition to his troops.
Cliff saying, that's not quite enough to get your +1 buying power. That's
I like
too
it.
bad.
Oh, he's not getting Spice Must Flow. He didn't have enough.
Wow.
Fake diplomacy.
Reconfirm.
So he cannot finish the game. The game's going to go another round.
51. Jim's at 30.
Unless somebody has a trick up their sleeves. Does
Yeah.
Alan have a trick up his sleeve?
Alan still has one person to play.
Unless I'm mistaken and RJ does have a Desert Mouse symbol?
He might. It just might be under his player.
Okay, because if he has Desert Mouse, then this is
Good guys there, and
a
your
10-point,
$3 is there.
a 3-point play for him.
Because it costs $3 to go
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Alan goes where he wanted to go the previous
Last time, yeah. So this is
Gonna
a
get to
great
take somebody
space.
back.
One of my favorite spaces because it lets you take somebody back. So it's kind of like getting the Mentat in base
Yeah.
Dune, but spies allow multiple players to do it. You draw a card, and you can cycle out an intrigue you don't like and hope for something better.
I don't have to.
No, it's got a white arrow, so it's
Okay,
optional.
can I draw the
Oh, it sounds like he's just happy with his intrigues.
Yeah.
Oh, does he have endgame points, and he's gonna hope to steal the victory here?
Maybe. And also too, he going there for that additional card draw, putting down his next player could get a more card draw, cycling through.
Yep.
Alan's still
So-
having so many turns. Well, everybody's gonna will have revealed. Alan will have perfect information, almost perfect.
Yeah, I've never seen a game of Uprising with only one Swordmaster player
Yeah,
before.
and only one high council seat too.
Yeah.
Usually
Weird.
there's a trade-off, right? So John made that trade-off. He made that decision, but it was a decision. RJ and Cliff just ignoring it. Yeah, RJ must have a mouse symbol, but if he did, why go for that intrigue card at 1 point?
He
One
must have been
buying power.
so confident in his combat intrigues that he felt like the additional troops didn't matter, and he just was hoping to draw an endgame point intrigue, maybe.
Yeah,
But the 2 cards might have gotten to a Spice Must Flow.
yeah, certainly more than a 1 buying power. We know he had at least 4 buying power because
Yeah.
he bought Truth Trance. That's what it's called, right? Yeah.
Yep. Cliff checks his intrigue cards. I'm certainly curious to know what Cliff's intrigue cards are.
He's been sitting on a lot of them for the majority of the game. He's got so many resources. I'm so...
Discarding this card pick.
He's got a couple plot cards. Oh, we're...
Enjoy.
Oh,
Oh!
wait, what just happened?
Oh, he discarded. He did decide
Alan
to-
discard that card?
Yeah, it's still Alan's turn.
Does Alan not have 3 spice? Because that card is incredibly strong.
Yeah, I don't think Alan's
Yeah,
had the
you can do that
spice.
next turn. I get a reveal.
Uh,
That's what I just need the card.
at the very least, Alan could have used that to wiggle on the Benny Gesserit space to get a different intrigue card, which would have been strictly better than discarding it, because you could just discard whatever you
Right.
drew.
Well,
To go down and go back up on the same spot. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta make my play, I guess. Let's see how good it goes. Oh, I'm gonna break the.
But likely not Alan maybe thought it had to be a different thing.
Yeah, and that's a common mistake that players make. It's just
Cliff
Nope.
has the unexpected allies.
oh, he does. Wow. Is
The-
RJ going to be so sad here if Cliff actually finds a way to win this?
A card from my past. I played against my favorite play style. It's like I'm watching my own game of Dune Imperium Uprising right now.
Alan must be so happy to see that too, because
That's huge. That's huge for Alan too. Yeah. If Cliff manages to steal this away from RJ, which Cliff has to, at this point, he's got the 12 Solari. He's got a worm in the conflict.
2, 9. The spice must flow.
That's a 4, maybe a 5-point bump for Cliff.
Thank you.
John buys a Spice Must Flow. His second of the game.
Definitely a weird strategy for John, but he's been moving along consistently, but he just hasn't been quick enough.
I wonder if he has the secure Spice Trade Intrigue, which would give him an end game point for having 2 Spice Must Flows.
Right.
I spent 1 Solari to get 1 bump over there. And
Oh, is he
then,
is
Oh, Alan
He
bumps
just-
up.
diplomacy.
Oh, and he's going to get the Alliance.
He's gonna get the alliance token, and if he buys a Spice Must Flow,
No, why? Wait, why is he?
Spice.
oh, he's
Oh.
dropping this. He's just dropping a spy.
Spy,
Draw a card.
draw 2 cards. Draw 2
Draw
cards.
2 cards and
And then
place a
place a
spy.
spy here.
Oh,
Okay.
he's got Guild
He's
Spy in his hand.
absolutely yeah, like you're saying. Like,
He's got
'cause
Guild Spy in his hand.
He obviously could have just played up there and gotten 2 points, but this way he gets to draw cards.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, and he needs the card in order to secure his Spice Must Flow. He probably didn't have enough.
Well, if he didn't have enough,
Has a 9.
he played a card that
And you have the.
provides
Lead.
1 persuasion,
By 2
but he drew 2
points.
cards.
He drew 2 cards. Yeah.
Place a spy.
Wow.
Did he just steal this game?
Alan comes up with the end game, especially with Cliff fighting RJ. Even if RJ gets it, if he doesn't have a mouse, it's
Well done, Alan.
it's worth only 2 for him.
Right.
Go to this conflict. It probably doesn't matter.
And I don't believe Alan has any spice, but maybe he does.
Breakers in case something.
And a
goes
tiebreaker, RJ's spice would have been good for a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I'm scoring right now.
We're gonna battle.
Oh, you're going to battle.
Cliff seems to say it doesn't seem to matter. The players seem to have already figured it out. Alan with that sweeping 2-point move.
We get both sides.
Look at those plans within plans. Look at Alan's
+7.
spots
Plus
on the
7 for
track.
Cliff.
Wow.
Alan is so happy to see this combat card.
Yeah, you can see he jumps out of his chair. He knows.
Wow. And RJ could have easily had 4 more troops in the conflict, which would have been +8 from where he is now, and so this would not have
Right.
won for Cliff if he had gone to research
Yeah.
station.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't because it's applied and it's not your turn, but it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Cliff.
That, I'm winning, so I'll pass.
RJ plays a card? No?
So I win. I have a sand.
No, he passed.
No.
12.
RJ
Wow,
doesn't have it.
what a finish.
I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it's a mouse.
And he's
A
getting
big
5
swing,
points
5 points for that.
to take maybe second place, depending on tiebreakers.
Wow.
RJ gets an intrigue.
Cliff
Three
needed
spice for-
needed this to go one more round. That got Cliff right back in the game. But Alan's
Sure.
slippery move there
And he gets.
puts him into first with 10. RJ has no chance of catching up.
Alan, you get 3 spice. All right. Does anybody have endgame cards that affect the points?
End game.
Yeah, John
Looks
does
like
have gets a point.
RJ is showing a card.
This is 1. I can flip this. 40 points.
Oh, it acts as the wild.
So he had a point that
right?
way,
He had a
but he
point.
needed to win that
Congratulations,
battle.
Yeah.
Alan, congratulations, brother.
Wow.
Good
If
fight,
RJ had
boys.
won that battle,
Alan, go fight.
that would have
Are we gonna
been
go
that
for
would have
fight
been it.
Ryan?
But
If you want some
Cliff
pizza,
needing to play
pizza
for
in the
for
office,
his
back
own
in the office,
points
back there,
and
okay?
not King make.
Wow,
That's size.
congratulations
This is
to
the first
Alan.
one
That
I've
was
done.
well
Wow.
played.
Violation.
He pulls it
And
out.
he definitely disproved what I was saying about how like you got to fight, you got to get some combat rewards, and he was just like, "Nah, I don't need them."
Nah, don't need him. Well,
Wow.
again, it was like they were so at each other the whole time. Although RJ really did feel dominant in the combat, but Cliff had that combat strategy, right? He had to go in for it. He was planning this move the whole time with blowing up the shield wall
Yeah.
for the right card. But what a friggin' finish by Allen. And
Yeah.
I feel if Allen hadn't won in that round, I think the other players would have been able to get to 11 or 12 points in the next round, potentially, depending upon
Yeah,
what
you're right because
shield wall
Alan
was blown up.
basically he got all the alliances except for one. He
Yeah,
probably wasn't going to easily steal the Spacing Guild
yeah,
alliance from RJ, so he had hit his cap other than maybe buying another Spice One's Flow.
yeah, yeah. He needed to basically hit that mark, and that was it. Like that was the only way in which Allen takes it home. But Allen does take it home. And moves on into the finals for 2025, which we have streamed already. You can go watch that currently on Dice Tower. And it's also going to be on here on WSBG's YouTube channel as well. If you want to see how Allen did and you missed it when we were live streaming, well, you can go catch that action for yourself. That was quite the game, Paul.
It was amazing. That was well played with lots of unexpected twists that I
Yeah.
would not have predicted from the start.
I certainly wouldn't have predicted that as well. It was very exciting to see RJ's dominant position in almost every battle, and then just to have Alan be methodical and climb up and spit in the face of the designer. And
You know what? I probably should have predicted that Cliff had that because what else was he sitting on those intrigue cards for? Like
right,
we almost should have expected that
yeah,
with the way he was playing.
yeah, something huge, right? But
Yeah,
he also prioritized getting that maker hook first, which like if you have that, you
you don't
save
even
it.
need it.
You don't need it.
Yeah,
Right?
the irony of like
Yeah.
going for those maker hooks early and then I think he used them once during the game.
Yeah, because he had that one worm that ended up being a third place because he didn't push in that
Right.
extra troop.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, really exciting game. Well, thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
Thanks for
Thanks for
being here.
inviting me.
Yeah, this was awesome. This was thrilling to watch. And for everybody else at home, if you're interested in watching more coverage on the World Series of Board Gaming, well, stay tuned right here to WSBG's YouTube channel. Every Saturday, we're going to be dropping a game that we filmed from our 2025 competition. You won't want to miss that. By judging by the quality of the games that I've seen so far, they're only going to they can't get better. That's true. I was going to say they're only going to get better, but then I realized they're peak right now. They're going to stay exactly the same. This was a lot of fun, Paul. Do you have anything to say before we wrap up? Any Dune announcements? I'm putting you on the spot.
Dune announcements. Well, we've been cooking up some more content in the studio for Dune Imperium. And what's interesting about this next expansion is that digital players are going to be able to play it first.
Oh,
Because we're going to launch it to digital and it's going to help us kind of balance and
oh, cool.
finalize it because it's kind of so complex that the extra data that we're going to get from the community will help balance the expansion.
That sounds like only a win across the board. That sounds so exciting. So everybody needs to download Dune Imperium Digital right now, is what you're saying.
I guess I am saying that. Yeah, it is a fun
hey,
game.
that's what I'm saying too.
And
It's
eventually we'll have Uprising too. It doesn't quite have it yet,
right,
but
but it'll be
at some
coming.
point it'll come.
It'll come on the way. I don't think I even talked about this at the beginning too. Do you think something along the lines of Pivotal Gambit, the promo card that every Dune Imperium Uprising player received, these sort of style will be in the new expansion, that risk reward style?
No comment on what's in the expansion. I can only say
No
it's
comment.
coming.
No comment. No comment. We'll assume. We'll assume. This was an awesome card that everybody got as a promo card that I'm so excited to play in my copy of Dune Imperium Uprising. You can double the rewards, or no, you add the a bump in the influence track to the first place on the reward track, but that doesn't mean that you're going to win it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're going to win it, which I think is so fun for a gambler and a risk taker and a greedy player like me. I obviously will love to see and play with that card. But you could have gotten that if you attended WSBG 2025. Who knows what you can get at WSBG 2026? If you want to get your tickets, remember that code EARLYBIRD is still ongoing. And grab your tickets. It's a friggin' blast. Paul, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Chris. This was a lot of fun.
This was super great. I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. From all of us here at the World Series of Board Gaming, I'm Chris George.
I'm Paul Denon.
And what are you waiting for? It's time to get in the game.